practically tripped on her own feet in her haste to get away. And when your bride-to-be wants nothing to do with you, well, it doesn't do your ego any favors. In spite of her bravado, she nibbled at her cuticles in her seating coach, a habit my mother had never quite managed to drum out of her. As if hearing my mother's sharp reprimand, Catherine lowered her hand to double-check her seatbelt was cinched tight. Then she trained her attention out the window, though we were still on the ground and there was nothing to see yet. That hair was her crowning glory. If she'd been playing it smart, she would have worn a hat at the very least, but then Catherine was a hothead, passionate to a fault and sometimes reckless. Case in point, her decision to run away before our wedding. In certain circles, I was considered quite a catch. Rich, handsome, fit. But Catherine saw only the man who'd broken her heart when he'd been too stupid to realize that a woman like Catherine came along only once in a lifetime. I had a week to prove that I'd changed, starting now. I peeled away from the attendance area to make my way to my wayward fiancée. "Leaving without me?" I tisked, startling her with the silky censure in my tone. "Luca!" she gasped in open dismay, her brow furrowing as her nose wrinkled, as if she'd just stepped in something putrid. "What are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing, love." "Don't call me that," she warned with a glower that could flash freeze meat. "God, you're like gum on my shoe. Go away." "Not a chance." "And why would I do that?" "Because I don't want you here," she answered, cutting me a hard look. I stared pointedly at her ringless finger, hating that she seemed to the world an available woman when she belonged to me. "Where's my grandmother's ring?" I asked, moving slightly so other passengers could get past me, but I was already causing a logjam. "It's too heavy and it's gaudy." "It may be gaudy, but there's a lot of history in that ring," I said. "Once we're married, you'll only have to wear it on special occasions, or when we dine with the family. Mother has particular expectations about gifted family heirlooms." "I'm never wearing it," Catherine returned flatly, "because I'm not marrying you." Her declaration hit me like a punch to the groin. She'd never outright stated she wanted to call off the wedding, but I should have seen it coming. That's a big decision to make. I hardly think making it when you're angry is a good idea, I warned, glancing at the people trying to push past me. "Luca, you're blocking the way," Catherine said, embarrassed. "Just go home, and I'll call you when I land." "Sorry, that's not going to happen. Where you go, I go." Before Catherine could hit me with a retort, the sharply dressed attendant made her way to us, her expression polite yet annoyed that I was standing in the aisle, as she said, "I need you to take your seat, sir. Perhaps I can help?" Catherine was really going to be pissed, but it couldn't be helped. "Yes, actually, my bride-to-be seems to have gotten the wrong seat assignment. I was just sharing that with her, that we've been upgraded. Can you help us out?" Relieved to find the fix so simple, the attendant smiled and looked over my tickets, her expression breaking into a wider, more accommodating smile. "Of course, Mr. Donato." She gestured to Catherine. "I am so sorry for the mix-up. Your seats are in first class. We'll get that squared away right now." "Excellent," I murmured, smiling apologetically at Catherine, knowing she wouldn't risk a scene. "Upgraded?" Catherine's gaze flitted from the attendant to me, indecision marring her beautifully expressive face. Tiny freckles danced across the bridge of her nose and onto her cheekbones, because she refused to wear enough sunscreen when she went out. She wanted to tell me to shove my ticket up my ass, but I knew she wouldn't, not with so many people watching. "Miss, if you'll just come with me," the attendant prompted, gesturing again, and I knew Catherine wanted to murder me. I'd take the risk. "Fine," Catherine finally relented with a sour look she didn't even try to disguise, but I didn't care. I needed more privacy and legroom than Coach could provide for what I had to say to my runaway fiancé. In a world filled with daisies, Catherine was a wild blood.